Welcome to Cavaletto Studios. I'm Chris. Improve your mobility with this gentle flow that focuses on our hips and back. We will be using a strap to assist us getting deeper into those stretches. If you don't have a yoga strap, a belt, a rope, or a long towel may work for you as an alternative. So settle back into a child's pose and let's get started. We're going to begin in child's pose today. So separate your knees, feet together. Feel free to put a blanket or anything under your knees if you need to. We're going to walk the hands forward and just melt the belly between the thighs and the forehead towards the mat. And just find your comfortable position here, pushing your hips back closer to your heels with your palms, pressing them into the floor. Let's find our breath. Breathing in and out gently through the nose. Preparing for our practice. Feeling the stretch in the hips and the back. One more breath. And then just gently lift your head off the floor, enough that you can shift your hips side to side. Just notice the hips, the back, how you're feeling. And then find your center. Lift your upper body just enough that you can really straighten out those arms in front of you. And then start to walk both arms to your right. And shift your hips gently to the left so you can get a nice stretch through the side of the body on that left side. Oh, let your body melt to the floor. One more breath. And then we're going to lift the upper body, walk both hands to the left, shift your hips to the right, melt your body down. Just a couple breaths here. One more. And then we're going to lift the body again and then walk back to the right. Keep your upper body lifted, but shift your hips to the left, away. And then shift them back to center. Walk your hands to the left. Shift your body to the right. And then walk your hands back to center. Shift yourself to a tabletop, and then find your neutral plank, but in variation of on the knees. Pull the shoulders away from the ears, and then start to lift and open up that chest. Maybe feel a little sag in the back, and then lift the hips. Slide them back towards the heels, and then slide forward back to your modified plank. Stretching out not only the back and the hips, but a little bit of the shoulders, down through the shoulder blades and the armpits. And then back again, back and forth. One more time, sliding forward, finding your modified plank. Feeling that nice stretch. And then coming all the way back, hips to heels. And then maybe move those knees a little further apart again. Now you're going to take that right hand and we're going to reach it up to the sky. All the way up. Open up that chest. You're going to thread it underneath and lower down towards the right shoulder, wiggling the fingers. Lift the left hand towards the front of your mat, placing the palm on the floor. And find your breath. Continue wiggling those right fingers. One more breath. Now staying here, lift your left arm from the front of the mat and bring it all the way behind your back. And then open up that shoulder a little more. One more breath. And then you release the hand from behind the back, place it on the floor close to your head, use it to come up. And then place your right hand on the floor. Lift your left arm all the way up. Open it up. And then take that left hand underneath. Thread it through. Palm is up. Reach your right arm out front. Wiggle those left fingertips. Feel the stretch through the shoulder, the upper back area. Taking that top right arm, lifting it up, bringing it behind the back. Open up that shoulder a little more. One more breath. Then you'll take your right arm, place it next to the head, use it to come up. Place both hands on the floor out in front of you so you can shift into your tabletop. So your hands are under your shoulders, your knees directly under your hips. We're going to warm the core up and just get things moving in the hips a bit. So let's take the right hand and reach it to the front of your mat. Thumb is to the sky. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Feel the belly pulling into the spine as your left leg extends to the end of the mat. And it's lifted. Hips are level. Now let's pull the right hand in so the elbow and the left knee meet underneath, and then extend back out. And then pull it in again and extend back out. Pull it in again, extend back out. We have one more. In and extend out and hold. And then go ahead and bring the hand and the knee to the floor. And let's try the other side. Extend the left hand out to the right leg to the back of the mat. Find that core, level out those hips. The belly is pulled in, shoulders away from the ears. Now pull the elbow and the knee together underneath. And then extend. Little exhale as they meet underneath. Inhale, extend. Bring it in. Extend out. One more. Extend out and hold. And then bring the hand and knee to the floor. Back to your tabletop. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. We're going to extend the right arm again and the left leg. Now this time you're going to take that right arm. I want you to reach backwards towards the back of your mat and then bend your left knee. Right hand back. Grab hold of your left foot and then kick your foot into the hand. If you cannot reach your foot, that's where you would use the strap to wrap it around the foot, and then lift the chest and open things up. So getting a nice hip quad stretch. One more breath here. And then when you release the foot, extend the arm and leg to the front and back of the mat again. And then slowly bring the hands and knees to the floor. Extend that left hand to the front of your mat. Right leg to the back. Extended tabletop. Take your left hand, reach it to the back. Bend your right knee. Grab hold of that right foot. And then start to kick your foot into your hand. Lift your upper body. Open things up. Find your breath. Continue breathing here. Notice the difference on this side and the other side. Loosening up the front of the hips. Stretching through the back, the belly. And then slowly, when we release the foot, we're going to extend the arm to the front and back of your mat. And then hands and knees to the floor. And then you're going to separate your knees. Take a little child's pose. Stretch out that back again. Reach the arms forward. Maybe a little shift side to side. And then come all the way back up to a tabletop. Now this is where if you have sensitive knees, you would want to put a blanket, a pillow, something under your left knee. And you'll also want your strap close by. Like maybe putting your strap onto your left foot for this next part. Just get it all hooked up ahead of time. Just wrap it around the base of your foot, having it pulled out here to the left side. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take that right leg and we're going to bring it all the way forward into a low lunge. And just feel that stretch into the left hip flexor. You can use blocks as well, or you can walk your hands up to your thigh. And make sure you're not pushing on the knee or on the thigh or the back, front or back of the thigh. And then just do some hip shifts. So you're going to shift the hips forward and backwards. Again, getting into that left hip flexor. Nice and tall and open through the chest and the back. Couple more. Now on this next one, we're going to shift forward. And you can stay upright, or you can bring your hands to the floor, maybe on the inside of that foot, right foot. You're going to grab hold of your strap, and you're going to bend that left knee. And just pull the strap up, and maybe you're just holding it back further. Just lost my strap. So you're holding the strap, and you're pulling it in. And again, you can be up on the thigh. That's a little more intense. And some of you might be flexible enough to just grab hold of the foot and not use the strap. But it's just nice using that strap. You can get just relaxing those shoulders, not forcing anything. Just feeling the stretch all the way through that quad, the knee, the hip. Check in with your right knee. Make sure it's not falling open to the side. Pull it in. You might feel a little more intensity when those hips have little internal hip rotation. One more breath. And then we're going to slowly release that foot all the way to the floor. You can remove your strap if you'd like. Keep your knee on that towel or blanket, whatever you're using. And then again, slide those hips forward. Untuck your back left foot. Place the top of the foot on the floor. And then a couple more hip hinges forward and back. See if you can go a little further back, and this time pull the toe up so you're stretching out the front of the hamstring, the front leg, the back of into that hamstring, forward and back. Give me two more. Hands can be on the hips. You're welcome to use blocks as well. And then pull the toes up, shifting your hips back, maybe leaning onto blocks or the floor. Feeling a nice little stretch in the hamstrings and those calves. And then from here, you're going to bend that front knee again. Bring your hands to the floor. Slide your right knee back. Find your tabletop, and then shift your blanket, your pillow, whatever you're using, to the right knee. And maybe you have them on both knees. Bring your left foot forward. Make sure your left knee is over the left ankle. Bring those toes forward a little, inch them forward if needed. And then walk yourself up onto the thigh. And we're just going to do some shifts here, some gentle forward and back with the hips, stretching out that right hip flexor. Again, not putting any pressure on that knee. One more, and now we're going to shift our hips forward and just hold that stretch. Notice where you're feeling it. And when you're ready, we're going to bend that back foot, that back knee, and use that strap to pull on the back foot. And you can be down here on the mat. It takes a little pressure off. If you want more intensity, you can be up on the thigh. So you take your pick. And again, some of you might be able to grab your foot without using the strap. As long as you're not having pressure and you're feeling okay in the knee, be mindful of your knee here. It's just a really great stretch all the way into the knee and up into that hip flexor. That quad has a big job. Again, check in with your left knee. Make sure it's not falling open. Push into that left arch of your foot. Bring that knee in. Notice how it changes how you feel in that right quad stretching because we've rotated those hips. One more breath. And then you're going to release. Go ahead and take your strap off, and you are welcome to set it to the side. Place the top of your back right foot onto the floor, and then just start to hip hinge forward and back gently, stretching out that right hip flexor. And when you're ready, we're going to add more range of motion by pulling that left toe up, straightening the left leg, and then bending into it a little more. So getting that hamstring, that left hamstring to stretch. It's all connected up into the hips, so we got to stretch them out to get our hips moving. One more, and then we're going to pull the toes up, straighten that front leg. You can stay upright, holding onto the hips. You can use yoga blocks on either side, or you can even bring your hands to the floor. And find your breath. Wiggle those toes. We're just about there. And then go ahead and bend that front knee, bring both hands on the inside of the foot, step it back. We're going to slowly remove that blanket, or pillow, whatever you're using, slide it to the side. Bring your hands out in front of you, and then we're going to shift forward, tuck our toes, and we're going to find a full plank. Nice and strong, engage the core. You got this. And then very slowly, feel free to be on your knees if you need to for the Chaturanga. Rock forward on the toes, elbows in towards the ribs, and then lower yourself towards the belly as close as you can get without touching the floor, and then lower your hips. Good, taking it to the floor. Untuck your back toes, and then bring your hands in front, elbows to the floor. Under your shoulders, find your Sphinx pose. Press the palms into the floor, draw your forearms down and push them into the floor and pull backwards like you're dragging yourself forward. Feel that stretch through the belly, maybe a little arch in the back, as long as you're not feeling any pinching in that low back, and maybe lift the upper body. Make sure you're not lifting the head up. Pull the chin into alignment. Lengthen through the neck. Find your breath. Now from here, you're going to twist the left shoulder backwards towards the left, right shoulder. Just a little twist through the upper body and look over your left shoulder. Maybe feeling a little extra stretch through the right hip flexor. Take a breath in. And then as you leave it out, breathe out, twist to the right. Not just the head, but the whole body. And then slowly coming back to the center. And then from here, we're going to slide our belly to the floor. Bring your elbows out to the side. And then bring your palms backwards and face them upward next to the body. Tilt your chin under so you're looking at the floor. And we're going to open up the chest, engage that core. Option to lift the legs for locust. Find your breath. One more breath. And then lower all the way down. And now you're going to slide your elbows under your shoulders this time, a little bit closer together. You're going to tuck your toes under, lift the hips, so you go to the knees first. Straighten out the right leg, pushing the toe into the floor, and then the left. Find your elbow plank. And breathe. Walk those toes in a little closer together. Really tuck them under. And then drop your hips towards the right and hold. And breathe. Slowly lift the hips to center and drop them to the left. Take another breath. And then back to center. Find your plank, your elbow plank. One more breath. Now you're going to lower your knees, separate them, feet together. Use your hands to push yourself back to child's pose and stretch out that back. It should feel really good. Maybe a couple shifts from side to side. And then melt into the middle. Really stretching it back. Stretching through the hips and that back. One more breath. And then from here, we're going to shift to a downward facing dog. Tuck your back toes and then lift yourself up. Pedal out your feet. Walk your dog. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Think about how good that feels on the back and the hips. Stretching things out. And then we're going to bend the knees slightly. Shift your hips backwards. Your belly towards your thighs. You're going to melt your left foot into the floor. Lift the right leg. Three-legged dog. Then I want you to bend your right knee. Rotate that right knee 3 times, one direction, and then 3 times the other. And then you're going to pull that right foot over to the left, stack the hips. Then you're going to take that right foot between your feet to a lunge. But keep your back knee off the floor. And make sure your right knee is over the right ankle, not your toe. Now from here, we're going to pivot onto our back left foot to a side lunge. And then walk those hands on the inside of your right foot. And then slowly, as you shift sides, walk your hands to the left and lift up your right foot. Good. Make adjustments. If your foot's forward, maybe turn it to the side. Make adjustments to what feels good to you. Option to bring your left hand to the inside of the shin and bring it out across that foot, that left foot. So you're holding yourself up, pushing that knee into the tricep. Option 2, to lift your right arm. And just feel that nice stretch through the hip and the back. And then we're going to take that right hand back down, place the right foot on the floor, shift your body back to the front of your mat, pivot your right foot forward, find that high lunge again, and breathe. Now you're going to place both hands flat on the floor, step back to full plank, engage that core, shift on the toes, option to be on your knees if you need to, Chaturanga. Lowering towards the floor the best you can, and then belly onto the floor. This time, lifting to a cobra or an upward facing dog. And then a downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet, walk your dog. This time we're going to plant that right foot into the mat, and then you're going to lift your left leg. And then we're going to bend that left knee and circle the knee 3 times. And then 3 times the other direction. And then lift and stack those hips. Pull that foot over to the left. Really feel that nice stretch. Then you're going to take that left foot between the hands. Find your low lunge. Keeping the right knee off the floor. Make sure your left knee is over the left ankle. If you're here and your knee is way forward, shift yourself backwards. Now from here, we're going to bring both hands on the inside of our left knee and foot, pivot onto the right foot, and start to walk your hands along the mat as you shift towards the back of your mat, lifting up your left heel. And now option to reach your hand on the inside and the arm on the inside of the right knee, placing it on the floor on the outer edge of the foot, and then lifting that left arm up. Feeling that nice hip stretch, back twist as well. Find your breath, and then bring your hands back down to the floor. Start to pivot yourself forward again, coming to the front of your mat. There you go, good job. Now we're going to take both legs back, find your plank. This time we're just going to shift straight to our downward facing dog. Make those adjustments, soften the knee. Feel the shoulders pulling away from the ears. Now you're going to plant your left foot, lift up the right leg. Now you're going to bend the right knee. Bring the right knee to the right ankle, right wrist, I can't talk, and then find your pigeon. option to sit on a block or that blanket, and then slide your left leg all the way back so you're really melting into that right hip. Then from here, do a little bit of a shift. The top of your left knee and left foot is on the floor, and then melt yourself forward, finding your pigeon. And you can have your hands stacked, or you can reach them out in front of you and bring your forehead to the mat. And just find your breath here. Now we're going to add one more option if you would like to. You're going to lift your body enough that you can take that left arm again, palm up, and slide it under your right arm and lower to that left shoulder, but keep on that right hip. Find your breath. A little bit of a twist in our pigeon. Now you're going to lift your upper body, take your left arm out, and try the right arm. Slide it underneath, still staying on your right hip. We're just doing both sides. Notice the difference. And then slowly coming out of your pigeon, bring your hands onto the floor, lifting your upper body, opening up the chest. Notice the hip flexor of that left leg. Now, option here, again, if you want to use your strap, you can bend your left leg and put the strap around it, or you can even just reach, maybe you can reach your left arm back and grab hold. So that's an option, to use your strap or your hand stretching through that quad and hip flexor. And find your breath. Maybe you slide your hand on the inside and pull it a little closer. And then when you're ready, we're going to release that leg. Take your strap off of it if you are using the strap. And we're slowly going to find our plank. Find the plank nice and strong and sturdy. Notice the difference in the legs. And then just shift yourself backwards to your downward facing dog. Then adjust your feet, walk your dog, pedal out your feet, and then bend your knees, and then stretch it out. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. Now you're going to plant your right foot into the floor, left leg comes up. And we're going to bring that left knee forward to pigeon. So the left knee goes to the left wrist, and the left ankle goes towards the right wrist. And then slide your right leg all the way back. Find that left hip. Feel free, again, place a block or hip under your left butt cheek or hip if it's hard to get it to the floor, or if you have knee issues as well. And then once you've shifted a couple times, find your pigeon, melt forward, your chest towards the floor. You can stack your hands or maybe walk them out in front. And just enjoy that stretch. We're going to add on here. So here you're going to lift yourself enough that you can lift your left arm off the floor. So you can take your right arm, slide it palm side up underneath the left and lower to the right shoulder, but keeping that left hip down the best that you can. Feel that nice stretch. Just close your eyes and enjoy. Your right knee and the right top of your foot is on the floor as well, and that straight leg. Now from here, we're just going to switch arms. So you're going to slide your right arm out, left arm under, and lower into it. And again, noticing the difference. Inhaling and exhaling. One side might be more intense than the other. And then bring your hands back to neutral. Walk them in towards your shin. lift your upper body. So you're stretching through that right hip flexor. Maybe this is good and you want to stay here. If you want to add a little more of a quad stretch, you can bend your right knee. And again, you can use that strap, wrap it around your right foot, or you can use your hand. If you can't reach it with your hand, please use your strap. Never force anything. Just feel that nice hip flexor stretch. Option to bring your hand on the inside of the foot and pull it a little closer for an extra chest and upper back stretch with a little twist. And just be mindful of what you're feeling and how it's feeling. 2 more breaths here. Last one. And then we're going to release that foot. Now you're going to stay on your left hip. And you're going to bring the right leg forward. And we're going to sit up nice and tall and extend the legs out. Give them a shake, and then you're going to get your strap again. And then from here, you're going to bring your right knee, you're going to bend the knee and bring your foot on the inside of the left thigh. And then take your strap. I have a loopy strap, and you're going to put it around the left foot and then flex that foot. Sit up as tall as you can. Sit nice and tall. So you're getting a little bit of a calf stretch here. And then walk your hands forward onto your strap and keep your back as tall as you can. Lengthen. Feel the crown of your head pulling to the sky and pretend like your belly is being pulled towards your thigh. But everything else is staying tall and straight. Now some of you are real flexible and you might be able to reach your toes, but I still want you to stay as tall as you can through the spine. So it's a great stretch for hamstrings, hips, and it's also helping the back. One more breath. Now go ahead and sit up tall, hold on to that strap, and we're going to lift that leg, left leg off the floor. And just find that nice stretch. Try to relax the leg as much as possible. Then we're going to take that leg and lower it down nice and slow. Go ahead and take your strap off. Extend the right leg. You can put your strap on that foot and then pull your left leg into your thigh. So again, opposite side. And again, sitting up nice and tall, turn your chest towards your right leg. Try not to round or collapse through the upper back. We want to lengthen. Pull that toe up. See if you can pull the heel off the floor. A little calf stretch there. Then start to feel your belly button being pulled towards like the belly, towards the thigh, or towards the toes, but staying tall. And notice the difference on this leg compared to the other. You might feel it in the hip, calf, or hamstring. Everybody's a little different. But we're not collapsing or rounding through the upper back. We're lengthening as we lean forward. And find your breath. Some of you might be able to reach your toes and stay tall at the same time. But don't force anything. One more breath. Now, you're going to sit tall, lift up that right leg, and just hold it up and try to relax. You got this. And then slowly lower it. Release the strap. Go ahead and take it, put it over to the side. Now you're going to slightly bend your right knee. Take your left foot and slide it completely underneath the left thigh so your heel's towards the right butt cheek. Then you're going to take the right leg, you're going to bend it and place it either on the floor in front of your shin or over on the outside of your left thigh. So as long as the foot's flat. To get over here, if you have to come off your right butt cheek, then just keep it in front. And then we're going to take the left arm and wrap it on nice and tight onto that right knee. Place the right hand behind you, give a nice twist, stretching out that right glute, hip and even the back. Lengthening through the spine. Keep breathing, almost there. One more breath. And then we'll slowly release back to center. You're going to unwind the legs, extend both out in front of you, but knees are bent and we're on the heels. Then you're going to take the right leg and you're going to slide it under the left thigh so the heel gets to the outside edge or towards the glute. Then you're going to take the left knee and you're going to bend it. Place the foot flat on the floor, inside the shin, or on the outside of the right leg. Take your right arm, wrap it nice and tight around that left knee, lengthen through the spine, bring that left arm behind you, and just give it a squeeze. And find your breath. Feel that nice stretch in the hip and the glute and the back. One more breath here. Just feels so good. And then we're releasing, and we're going to bring both legs out in front. Scoot yourself forward to make sure you have room behind you and keep that strap close by because we will be using it again. Hold on to the back of the thighs, lengthen through the spine, and start to hinge your hips backwards. So finding your boat pose, option to hold on or to let go. Second option, to float your legs off the floor and hold on, or to release the legs. So you have 4 options there. Take your pick. And feel the core working. Might feel a little bit of the hips from all the stretching we've done with them. One more breath, and then bring the feet together and point the toes, and then slowly lower the feet to the floor, and then the upper body. And we're going to take our strap again, and this time we're going to bend the right knee and place the strap around your right foot. And then pull that right knee in towards your chest using that strap. And then from here, we're going to extend the right leg straight up to the sky, holding onto the strap. And let's flex the left leg, left foot, and push it into the floor. And just notice the stretch through that right hamstring. And just relax the shoulders, pull them away from the ears. Maybe let your hands slide down the strap so your shoulders can rest more. This feels so good. Then from here, you're going to place the straps together, hold on to them with the right hand, and then drop your right leg out to the right side. So you're stretching through the inner thigh. Feel that nice inner thigh stretch. Then you're going to bring that leg all the way back up. And this time you're going to hold on to the strap with the left arm and drop the leg over to the left, keeping both shoulders on the floor. Now that can be a little intense if you're holding it high, so you might have to lower the leg a little bit towards like your foot. If you lift it towards the chest, as it's straight, it might be a little intense. But again, focus on your back staying on the floor. So the sciatic goes through that hip and it can affect the nerves all the way down into the calf and the foot when we stretch this way. So you might be feeling it. So don't push it. And then slowly bring that leg back to center. And then separate your strap. And then you're going to bring your left foot up. And you're going to place it inside the strap and release the right leg to the floor. And then bend that left knee and just pull it into the chest nice and tight using the strap. And then flex your right foot, place it into the floor, straighten out your left leg to the sky. So really straighten it out. Feel the stretch. Notice the difference if this side is different than the other side. Notice if your leg's falling out to the side, if you can bring it more to the center of the body. If you need to have it further away from the chest, that's fine. And just keep on breathing. Now from here, we're going to hold both straps together with the left hand and let the leg drop out to the left side. Feeling that inner thigh stretch, keeping that right hip on the floor. Nice inner thigh stretch. Now we're going to bring that leg all the way back up to the sky. Scoot over. And then we're going to drop that leg all the way to the right this time. And notice the difference. Maybe you can go higher up. Maybe it doesn't go as high and you have to keep it lower towards your foot. The legs are closer together, but both legs are straight. Shoulders stay on the floor. And find your breath. And then slowly bring that leg all the way back up to center. And then go ahead and release the strap off of your foot. And we're going to hug both knees into the chest and give them a rock and a slide side to side. Then go ahead and place both feet flat on the floor. Walk your feet about hip distance apart. And let's find our bridge. So go ahead and lift the hips, lengthen through the spine. And notice the knees. Are they falling open? Can you bring them in closer together so they're in alignment? Shoulders relaxed. Pull them away from the ears. One more breath here. And then slowly lower those hips all the way down. And then go ahead and hug the right knee into the chest, straighten the left leg. Now from here, we're going to hold onto our right knee or shin with the left arm and go ahead and pull it over to the left. Again, keeping both shoulders on the floor, or maybe even turning your head all the way to the right as your leg falls to the left. Find your breath. And then very slowly bring your head to neutral. Bring your knee back to center. Give it a squeeze into the chest. And then very slowly just switch legs. Hug your left knee into the chest and extend your right leg. This time we're going to hold on to the left knee or the shin area with the right hand. And then pull it over to the right. Both shoulders stay on the floor. And look to your left. And just feel that nice stretch in the hips and the back. Finding your breath, noticing the difference on this side. We're going to bring our head to neutral and the knee back to center. And then from here, we're going to find our happy baby. And the nice thing about the strap is if you struggle with the happy baby, you can always use the strap and bring the feet apart and then pull the knees towards the hips if you want to use the strap. Another option is just to hold on to the big toes, or you can hold on to the outside edges of the feet or wrap it around and then just give it a rock, a side to side. And then find your center, push your hips down and your tailbone to the floor. Feel that nice stretch. Then we're going to release, hug the knees, place both feet flat on the floor about hip distance apart. Walk them in, turn your toes in about 1/2 inch. And we're going to take one more bridge. So I want you to lengthen, stretch out those hip flexors, keep the knees drawn inwards. Take a breath, pull the shoulders away from the ears, and then slowly lower those hips to the floor. And then go ahead and straighten out the legs and let the legs fall open. Release the hands to the floor, to palms up, and then find your Shavasana. And just close your eyes. Find your breath. Breathe in through the nose. Slowly let go through the mouth. Exhale it out. And again, inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Feel the shoulders relaxing into the mat. Notice the back and the hips. They feel maybe hopefully a little looser. And just 3 slow, long breaths here with your eyes closed. One more breath. Feel a calmness washing over your body. You're relaxed. And when you're ready, roll to either side. Give your knees a squeeze. Release any tension in that low back. And then use your arms to gently press yourself up to a nice, tall, easy seat. Sukhasana, anything that feels good to you. If this is not comfortable, feel free to sit on your blanket or block. Just close your eyes, pull your chin into alignment, ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. Bring your palms together at heart space. Take a deep breath in, press the palms together, lift them to the sky. Exhale, palms back to heart space. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.